we continue with chapter 1. Now it's the last halacha, and number 12. And it says, since this is so, all such descriptions and the like, which are related in the Torah and the words of the prophets, are all are metaphors, as we said yesterday, and imagery. For example, he who sits in heaven shall laugh, right? In Psalm 2:4. And another quote, they anger me with their emptiness, right? Dvarim 22:21. And as God rejoices, in Dvarim 28:63. With regard to all such statements, our sages said, the Torah speaks in the language of men. This is borne out by the rhetorical question, Yirmiyahu 7:19. Are they enraging me? So that's a question. Behold, in Malachi 3:6 it states, I, God, have not changed. Now were he at times to be enraged and at times be happy, he would change, right? Rather, all these matters are found only with regard to the dark and low bodies, those who dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is dust. In a contrast, he, blessed be he, is elevated and exalted above all this. Right, so let's do this from the beginning, and as usual, right, as we already see, it's continuation what we said yesterday. And yesterday we saw all of these metaphors: Hashem's hand, his laughter, right? There is no back, there is no front, there is no left, there is no right, all of these things. So just continue. Since this is so, meaning that all of these metaphors. So it's as Rambam proved to us even logically that it's not possible, right? All of this, the description to describe Hashem, because any description, whatever you say, description is already limitation, right? Whatever description, any, right? Right? It's already the limitation. That's why it says in Talmud Brachas that one sage came. So in olden days, there were no sidurs, right? So, but people knew by heart, and somebody would come in front and start praying. And one sage came, and he started adding blessing to Shmoneh Esrei, but this blessing, that blessing, and he thought that he would impress his Rebbe. And his Rebbe was not impressed, but opposite. He said, "You life in in your hands. What are you doing? Like, why? Who asked you? Who told you to add all of these praises?" So whatever our sages say from a great assembly, that's what we do. We don't do more. Why? Because once you decided to do more, who told you that you're allowed to stop? So once you stop, is all you list. You can list 100 extra blessings and adjective to describe Hashem. All of this is good, but who told you this is the limit? So, but if we go by the list, whatever as sages said, right? I was ordered to listen to my rabbis. Rabbis say this is the beginning of the blessing. That's how you end. That's on this word you bend your knee, then you straight up. That's it. All right. So from the beginning again. If this is so, since this is so, also description and the like, which are related in the Torah, are the words of the prophets, right? And the words of the prophets, all these are metaphors and imagery. Okay, so this we have come to imagery. Okay. In the Guide of Perplexed, Volume 1, Chapter 46, Rambam explained that since man considers these activities as expression of positive qualities, we must assume that God possesses, indeed in a more complex manner, the positive qualities that are associated with these activities. Very interesting. Though these activities, as we know them, involve change and thus cannot be ascribed to God, the Torah does not describe their divine parallels in lengthy, abstract terms. Instead, it employs simple human imagery as analogies, with understanding that a person who is bothered with anthropomorphisms, right? We seek to understand the analogy which they are intended to convey. Okay, so let's right. This the longest word, like 15 letters or so. Okay, so let's quickly review. So again, we go to the guide of Perplexed, and Rambam explained that since men consider these activities something positive quality, so they think as that Hashem also, that like in a sense has this quality, but in a bigger form, right? More refined form. So, and I think Habarush has said many times. How many times? I cannot even count how many times. About Yoshke. So Yoshke suspected that since he has this perverted ideas, so his rabbi also is supposed to have these ideas. And actually, it's not only Yoshke, but some other people. So they have this deficiency, and whatever deficiency is, whatever not right, and they have the rabbi also have, right. What's the difference between me and him, right? Right. We have the same desires. So all of these crazy people, right? But here, in a sense, people want Hashem to have these positive attributes, right? So they Hashem be in a sense like them, right? So that's the language that they do understand, right? So again, the whole sentence, the Rambam explains, since the man considers these activities as expression of positive qualities, we must assume that God possesses indeed the more complex manner. Of course, okay, but assume the positive qualities that associated with these activities. So meaning, right? So meaning everybody like people who are happy, right? Who people who tell story, to people who tell jokes, and then they say, "Oh, somebody came." Sometimes, like, a person comes to shul that have not seen a guy for a long time. I don't know where was he. That does many times, and people start they start yelling and screaming all of the jokes and all of the like happy to see too much. First of all, nobody allowed to behave in the shul like that. Right, and with this, and they think that they acknowledge person, and person now is supposed to be happy. Sometimes not. Sometimes person wants to be let alone, and it happened twice. Twice when a person came and he did not tell beforehand that he's coming, and he came for a funeral. Right, so he's somebody here close to him passed away, so he moved away from neighborhood. He came, so don't do all of these things. You understand? So keep whatever you understand is good to yourself. Okay. Through these activities, right, as we know, them involve change and cannot be ascribed to God. So meaning a person is happy. So he was down and now he came smiling, right? So meaning he was right. He had a bad mood. Now he had a good idea, a good thought, and now a person smiled. Like sometimes you see on the street, like a person walking or like standing, whatever, and they read the message or something, like write the email, whatever, text, and now they start smiling. So meaning something changed. The mood has changed. Yeah, it's nice. He has a good smile. It's very good that he's not depressed now. But on one hand, but on the other hand, they try to ascribe this to Hashem. So he's smiling, right, because he's not upset. So meaning from upset to smile, it's a change of mood. Right, and we said that Hashem is does not change; He's constant. Okay, could you mute your microphone, please? Sorry. Okay, thank you. The Torah does not describe their divine parallels in lengthy, right? Their divine parallels in lengthy, abstract terms, right? So meaning, right? So Torah is very simple, using very simple. Expressions. Why? So for us to understand that there is only metaphors. Okay. So the deeper explanation would be a person might take it for the truth, right? But when it's very simple, you understand it's not that. Instead, it employs the simple human imagery, right, and as analogies. With the understanding that a person who is bothered by the can I read second time? Anthropomorphism, right? aphorism, whatever is it, right? Will seek to understand the analogy which they intended to convey. So meaning they understand this is not the pshat, whatever these words that describe Hashem's mood, right? It's not pshat, it's not simple understanding. So we have to dig more, deeper. 66. Okay. For example, so now we start with quotes. He who sits in heavens and shall laugh. Okay. So Hashem, now he sits and he's going to laugh at somebody. Okay. So it's Psalm 2:4, right? Another, right? So Hashem is going to sit in heaven. He sits, he has some throne, he has some place. So he sits in heaven, but not in earth. In this heaven, not in that heaven. So all of these things, as we understand, the limitations that we have to understand as metaphors. Last, next quote. They anger me with their emptiness, from Dvarim. Okay. So right, somebody but we the metaphor we can understand. So this first one, for example, like simple words, simple and understanding. He who sits in heaven will laugh, shall laugh. So meaning people start with their stupidity and they try to beat the system, and they go by this gula and that's gula, and he's not Shomer Shabbos. He lives with Goya, like Shiksa, and you want that the blessing. You think all of these things from Kabbalists, this holy water on this amulet. I know if I told you somebody sent amulet, I thought he bought it from I don't know, from somebody, but he bought it from a Kabbalist, whatever he sent me. I do not understand these things, of course. I sent to somebody, and the Michael said also, he said, it looks like the names of angels in this sequence. It's dangerous. So I told this person, go bury it. Don't wear it. Like he's not Shomer Shabbos. You're normal to have this amulet, right? So I started keeping Shabbos, and you would not need all the amulets, right? So meaning Hashem will shall laugh on all these people. They try to cheat him, right? Beat the system. So next one, they anger me with emptiness. So meaning Hashem gives all these things, he gives the intellect to people, and he gives the purpose of life. So life would be fulfilled, like filled with constant struggle, constant trying to get close to Hashem, and people use it for what's the word, like Sudoku, or like all of these things, or some I saw in a shul once, not in shul that I'm now, but in another shul. There's a elderly guy, but he has this word puzzle. I think it's for kids, and it's a square, and you have to find the word and circle it. I mean, Hashem give you the Jewish brain not for this. I mean, for 5 years old who just learns the words. Yeah, that's amazing exercise, right? But you're 60, 70 years old. That's what you do with your brain. Okay, understand? So right, they anger me with the emptiness, with all the stupidity that people are worried about, right? Right. And next expression, as God rejoiced. Right. God rejoiced. Okay. We continue. With regard to all such a statement, our sages said, the Torah speaks in the language of man. So again, for us, for simple people to understand. Of course, we as from these simple terms, we understand what is going on. How Hashem sees what is happening on a simple level. So you got, you're older than 6 years old, 7 years old. Okay, you can go to the deeper level and see what Rashi said, what other Chachamim said, what Midrash Rabbah says, right? Mi'amles is more like a free flowing story. It's like a more story style. And Midrash Rabbah is not. It's more like a Talmud. Okay. Continue. This is born out of the rhetorical question. Okay. From Yirmiyahu, are they enraging me? So some people would try to do like a dafka against Hashem. Dafka. He wants to make Hashem angry, and he now eats a cheeseburger in the middle of the street, or not even in the middle of the street. I think I said where we live. Some people try to save money, and they invite some people observant, some not observant. So they themselves, of course, not semi-observant, right? And they would have a buffet style, right? So you basically, what is a buffet style? You take a plate and take whatever you want, as much as you want. Nobody like give you portions, whatever you want, as much as you want. You eat, right? On one hand, it's like kosher. On another side, it's not kosher. So you want to go kosher, go not kosher. Do whatever you want, right? And some people do what? So the Jews, like specific dafka, they go to not kosher. So does it cost you any more? Like a chicken? I don't know how Jewish people know how to cook chicken. These caterers, they I don't know veal right other like I don't know vegetables. I don't know what is fish. They're very good in cooking fish. All of these things. And people dafka Jews go to anger Hashem to this to the not kosher section. At least publicly, you see, I understand. Like you cannot hold yourself. You discuss it with Chas v'Shalom, right? Somebody. I'm talking like a person, right? With all the Judaism. Okay, but you can hide it. You can do it in the house. You want to eat pork? You eat pork until you die in your house. But why do it publicly? Why everybody knows that you're a Jew? And when it was chuppah, you were a kippah, like a proud, right? And now like you took it out and you go eat pork. So, and some people, right, they especially this of the derech, and they have the whole associations of the derech people. Somebody said, "Do you know how many people?" I said, "I don't know." You like, why should I care? Like they chose this life for themselves, but that's it. So it's they say, "No, you understand? It's a big movement." Okay, it's big movement. Okay, but we're trying to stay Jewish and we try to bring other people on board. But these people who became not religious, they dafka go against Hashem. Dafka, they do everything possible to enrage him. But Hashem said, you can enrage me, like what you little nothing, you can enrage me, right? I just came from an emergency room, right? Emergency room, and I was looking for my mother. I had to take had to walk around, even though it says like a number, like aisle and number. It took me some time to find. I saw all these people. Right? Not of them 100 years old. Let's put it this way. Okay, some younger people and younger, a little older. Hashem decided to instill something, and now they're not so brave, not so brazen any longer. Right, so nobody can enrage Hashem, but for us, we have to understand this. We see this behavior is enraging Hashem. But this, of course, it's a rhetorical question. Behold, Malachi 3:6 states, so quote, "I, God, have not changed." Right, Hashem does not change. So meaning the laugh. So he's laughing now. So meaning that he was not laughing before. Somebody told him a joke or he saw something funny and he started laughing. So of course it's not Hashem. Right. So meaning on a simple meaning that we can take this word, these metaphors to understand the general idea, but with our intellect we have to go deeper. That's the message. Now, were he at times to be in rage and at times to be happy, right? He would change, right? So rage and happy is us as simple people, right? So meaning change. Commentary. The verse in Yirmiyahu indicates that God is above being affected by man's deeds. So as they say, it's rhetorical, right? Therefore, we must assume that the verse which speaks to indicate that he can be so affected must be interpreted figuratively. Okay, so meaning there is no laughing or not laughing by Hashem. Okay, but on simple sense, these words make sense, right? So like basic idea we can learn. Rather, all these matters are found only with regard to the dark and low bodies. To the dark and low bodies. Okay. Those who dwell in a house of clay. Right? The house of clay. Commentary. The latter phrase borrowed from the context from Eov. Okay, no problem. Continue. Whose foundation is dust. Right. So meaning all these mood swings 70 times a day. It's from a person. Right. He got a good call, a bad call, good news, bad news. Now good, bad, all of these things. Right. In a contrast, he, blessed be he, is elevated and exalted above all this. So I mean, the sooner we get it in our heads, the life would be much more easier, because everybody looking, if you think about some stability, right? And if you know that Hashem is stable, so it's not he's constantly moving, right? There is expression moving target, so you have to constantly adjust yourself. But if Hashem is stable, right, he's stationary, so now you have to adjust yourself and go to that direction. Commentary. Though God is ultimate of all of all positive attributes, the manner in which he possesses these qualities surpass the nature of human understanding. So, as we said, he is gracious, yes. He is merciful, yes. All these good things. He is exalted in all attributes, but we cannot measure. So we can measure comparing to other people, for example. But Hashem much above all this. So there is no point for us to describe again, because we just simply cannot comprehend. All right. So that's story. That's part for today. All right, so next time we're going to start chapter 2.